Hi, everybody. It's Gail here. Happy Saturday. Man, I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, since I've uploaded a video, but I just wanted to share with you guys a conversation I was having with a friend of mine. We were talking the other day and religion came up. And I remembered when I was unbrainwashing myself, reading through another version of the Bible, I had come across a scripture that talked about the true, I couldn't remember what it said, like the true religion is this. And I was telling her about the scripture. And so what I did, I went to Google to try to find it and typed in the phrase, well, this is Yahoo, but the one true religion. And so, because I couldn't remember where the scripture was. And so, all these references came up. And of course, JWorg, their SEO is very good. um, they seem to be obsessed with, this thing about the one true religion. But the scripture that I was talking about is at James 1:27. And if you go to BibleHub.com and type in the scripture, I like this site because it shows you how different versions translate one scripture. So this is what the scripture says. Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. And I thought that was interesting. So I said, let me go over to jw.org and see what that version read, because that would have been shocking to us if we saw the word religion in the New World Translation that we were raised on. And so that version says, the form of worship that is clean and undefiled from the standpoint of our God and Father is this, to look after orphans and widows in their tribulation and to keep oneself without spot from the world. Okay, so the scripture sounds similar, except for one uses religion, one uses worship. So this is how I always study to get to the bottom, what word should it be? Why did one use religion and another one use worship? And so I go to the handy dandy scriptureforall.org, Greek Interlinear. I love using this, James 1:27. And we'll scroll down here to find out what the original word was trying to convey. Okay, so here it is. Ritual, clean and undefiled beside the God and Father. This is to be visiting or to be on-noting the bereaved and widows in the affliction, in their constriction of them, unspotted himself, to be keeping from the system of the world. Okay, so this one, the Greek interlinear is saying it's ritual, and the Greek word is treskeia. So I go over to the Strong's dictionary to look at the word treskeia, and it was saying religious worship or that which consists of ceremonies, religious discipline, religion. But I also found, the Greek interlinear used the word ritual. So let's replace those words. Pure ritual and undefiled before God, pure worship, as the New World Translation, is this, to look after fatherless, the widows and orphans in their time of affliction, and to keep oneself spotless from the word. So I go back to what is interesting here is when you look at the footnote for worship, it does say religion. Yeah, it does say religion. But now the marginal references, this is where it gets interesting. The marginal reference, one of these scriptures is Revelation 18:4, which says, And I heard another voice out of heaven say, "Get out of her, my people, if you do not want to share with her in her sins, and if you do not want to receive part of her plagues." Wow, how interesting, right in this scripture. But I just decided, to look at this article to see what they were saying. How can I find the true religion? On the SEO, on the search, it says, "What is the true religion? Which religion is true according to the Bible?" And it comes to this article. And, of course, it has a lot of scriptural references, and it has of course, the identifying marks of the true religion. You know, it's based on truth and not philosophies. It helps people to know God. It highlights Jesus as the one through whom God grants salvation, focuses on God's kingdom, promotes unselfish love. True religion has no paid clergy. That's interesting for other reasons, because now they are trying to say they have clergy, penitent privilege, but I'm not going to tackle that one. Do with it what you want. True religion is completely neutral in political affairs. True religion is a way of life. Um, those who practice true religion will be in the minority. So true religion is not just the right religion for me. I, Here is where they finally quoted James 1:27. It says, "In contrast, the Bible encourages us to follow the religion." Now they're using the word religion in instead of worship. "The religion that is clean and undefiled from the standpoint of our God and Father." But then they stop the quote right there. They never say what it is, but it says the religion. If you're reading this, they're talking about the religion, even if that religion is unpopular. It's interesting, they say footnote. The footnote doesn't refer to this scripture at all. When you go to John 15:18 and 19, it does not reference James 1:27. I don't get the idea of this footnote here, but John 15:18 and 19 says, "If the world hates you, you know that it has hated me before it hated you." But I just thought it was interesting how Watchtower kind of skirted around what the true religion is, what the pure religion is, to look after widows and orphans in their time of distress. And so, or the pure ritual, or, it, you don't need a religion to be a good person. And religion now has been seemed to be defined to four walls, and there's so many different denominations, and of course people are going to want to know who is telling the truth. But when I found this scripture, it was a relief for me, you know um, coming out of the organization, especially those who still think, that that religion is the truth, and are still feeling guilty, or still carrying guilt, or wondering where should you go, or if that's not the true religion, then what is? Here's your answer right here. All we need to do is look after orphans and widows. I would say now that includes the homeless. That's an epidemic, right? And to keep ourselves unspotted from the world. Okay. So I just wanted to, I hope this, to share this conversation that I had. And it was like a big wake up. It doesn't take a lot to understand the Bible. It's really easy to understand the Bible if you just read it for yourself. I think what happened with us as Jehovah's Witnesses is we were so focused on studying and learning the material, the Watchtower and the Awake, and it was there to confuse us. The Bible is really very simple. It is very plain. But then, okay, the apologetics may say, well, Gail, Hebrews 10:24 does say, "Do not forsake the gathering of ourselves together." And I say to that, well, no, I don't. If I get an invitation to a gathering or an invitation to dinner, I go. So who said that scripture, Hebrews 10:24, was in a religious context? I read it, and it doesn't have to be, you know. To me, it kind of reminds me of that scripture. I think it's in Proverbs where it's saying, "Don't isolate yourself." That's the way I take it. So I'm not telling you what to believe, what religion is this, or there was we were so obsessed about being the true religion and what is the true religion and teaching people that they were the true religion, that we kind of lost focus on what ritual is pure before God, that we look after people who are suffering. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I hope you found it interesting. I'm still a lot happened over the last few months after I did the previous video on Jehovah's Witnesses and the KKE. And I'm just trying to put it all together because it's just a lot of information, but this may seem kind of random. But I thought this was interesting. If you didn't know that scripture was there, hopefully it gave you a different outlook on how to look at where you're coming from, where you came from, and where you're going, and what your next step is. You know, so I hope you dive deep and do something to unbrainwash yourself so that you can move forward. I'm wishing you the best. I'm praying for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.